Boom! What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson. Welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Now, we have a very special 4-part series that we're doing here, and this is going to be part 1, okay? And it's going to be dripped out over the episodes here. Very stoked for you guys to be here. First of all, welcome, and we're going to dive into MLM Product Funnels.
If you're like me, you know MLM is an amazing opportunity to grow a real asset for yourself. But you also see that there's huge issues starting to emerge. Like, why haven't big MLMs let tactics change in over 30 years? Or why have they been cutting commissions smaller and smaller? Or even, how dumb is it that old MLM rules say you'll get in trouble when you use the internet to grow your team? These are some of the blaring questions we all face today. This podcast will show you how real MLMers like us are waging war on the old dying methods. And we aren't cheating by only bugging uninterested family and friends. Follow this podcast while I expose the shocking methods I'm using to build my 10,000 person downline and get people begging to join my team daily. Here's to the new tactics without all those old, rusty MLM shackles. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio.
All right, you guys, MLM Product Funnels. One of the biggest questions I get asked is, Steven, you focus quite a bit on the recruiting side. Why don't you talk more about the product sales side? And the reason is because what I found is that if somebody is able to recruit, the same principles apply and are transferable over to selling the product itself. Okay, and so if I can get someone to be auto-recruiting, selling the product, it's the same principles. It's very, very easy to go do it. If they can only sell the product, though, it's a lot of times it's harder for them to go. I don't know why. Anyway, it seems that way. Maybe it's not true, but it seems that way. If I can get them to recruit the product side, it's pretty easy. Anyway, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a 4-part series teaching you guys how I do my MLM product funnels, right? And how I would design that for probably yours. You see what I'm saying? Is like, so anyway, how I'd go design these MLM product funnels and go so that you can auto sell, okay? It's the same model I've used in other industries as well, and it's the reason it's so powerful. So anyways, what I decided to do was to go live in front of my audience and teach them. And if you guys are in Secret MLM Hacks, you guys saw me go into this a little bit, and it's one of the benefits of being in Secret MLM Hacks program. It's because when I start seeing that there's a spot check training needed, I want to dive into that. So it's a live living area. It's not something that is like, anyway, what I'll do is I create the program, then I step back to see like, what are they understanding? Okay, cool. Let's go make a training specific on that. So I decided to take this one piece out of it and say like, boom, like here it is, because it makes me really, really sad, mad that this is it's not mainstream. And a lot of times people are like super afraid of doing this. And I know why. And I'm going to talk about it right during this very first session. It's because they're afraid of Facebook saying things like MLM or their product name, or they can't say the name of their product online. That's fine. I'm not saying to break that rule, okay? Or they're like, hey, I'm not allowed to drive traffic to my distributor checkout page, right? You know how we all get duplicated websites that are usually kind of crappy? I'm just saying, okay? I can't drive traffic there. Then don't, all right? Then don't. I'm not telling you to break any rules here with this. I'm still doing it. You understand? That's why this is so powerful, and what I'm about to share with you and teach you is such a big deal. Is because if take the environment as it is, accept it, and then do something about it. But most of the time, people are like, I won't do it because I can't do X, Y, and Z online. Then find another way. And that's what this series is about. Okay? It's 4 parts. Okay, and this is part 1 of the series. We're gonna go dive into a little bit about the environment, the scenario, the reality, I should say, that MLM is in regards to the internet. And does it work? Can it work? Will it work? Why will it work if it does? You know what I'm saying? Like, so anyways, I want you to see like a lot of the realities that are in there. Full disclaimer, full disclosure with this. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal person. I'm not your MLM. I'm not, okay? Hopefully everyone feels disclaimed. Disclaimer. Everyone feel disclaimed? Anyway, so I'm actually going to cut over to a screen sharing session that I did with my group. And it's the first like 15-minute lesson that will really help you understand some of the scenarios and environments that we're really in, and how I don't try to break the rules or be sneaky. I just accept it and do something about it, right? So anyways, let's cut over there right now. And guys, I really I think it's going to be powerful for you to go take notes on this. Okay, take notes on this because this is super. Anyways, I've had. In fact, there was a guy. Actually, I think I had him on the show a while ago. And what was cool is that like he's like, yeah, dude, I took those principles you're talking about, and he's like, I took my team volume from $8,000 a month to $130,000 a month, or something like that. And I was like, holy crap! I thought you like doubled. You like whatever that is. You went from 8,000 to like 130, 150,000 in team volume, and it was only like 2, 3, or 4 months using these types of principles. So it's really powerful. Again, last shot, my blatant shot to you. If you guys want to learn how to do this stuff for real, full time, all out, go get the program at secretmlmhacks.com. Okay. But this should give you kind of a taste as well, and so you can see kind of what it will be about. All right, guys, let's cut over there. I'm going to share with you guys the secrets on how, honestly, us internet marketers play the MLM game, okay? Because I love MLM, obviously, otherwise I would not have created this. But we don't play it probably the way you've been taught. So, come over to the side and let me know, how is it that you were taught to sell supplements? Let me write this right here real quick. How is it that traditional MLM teaches you to sell supplements? And just so you're aware, like, I'm not against, if you're like, hey, Steven, I still want to talk to friends and family, that's fine. What I'm teaching you how to do here is not talk to them if you don't want to, all right? And then once you run out of your warm market, what do, right? And so, and auto-recruit, all right? I personally have had, I don't know, what do you say? We've had maybe like 5, 6 people join us in the last 2 days. Yeah, guys, we're doing this. So just so you know, like, I do what we're teaching you, okay? So I have a huge issue with people on the internet when they're like, I'm going to teach you how to do X, Y, and Z. And then you find out they're not actually building a downline. Like, I don't want to learn from them. I want to learn from the person who's doing it, right? Who's in the weeds with me and just further down the road. So that's why I'm going and doing this stuff. And that's why it's been so fun. So, okay, cool. BJ said, yeah. So how do you sell supplements in the traditional method? The traditional method is like this. Traditional supplement selling. All right. I shouldn't call it a supplement funnel. This is a product funnel, okay? Let me say it that way instead. I sell supplements, which is why I put supplements. Okay, whatever your product is, traditional product MLM funnels, right? Traditional MLM product funnel. Right, which is different than obviously recruiting itself. Traditional MLM or network marketing or direct sales or whatever makes you feel comfortable. Product funnels. Product sales, I'll say, right? So the traditional methods of doing that, right? And BJ, you said friends and family. And again, if it works, I'm not saying it's bad, right? But if I have like, let's say I got this racetrack right here. How many guys have you ever been to like a one of those car races that's like a drag race? I grew up in Denver, Colorado, in Littleton, and there's this really cool drag race, famous course. This drag race course is probably about 15 minutes from where I grew up, and it was right on the side of this mountain. It was super cool, and they would have these drag race courses right here, and it was cool because at night, even on the highways you drive by, like, because it's on the side of this mountain, right? And this highway would go by it or whatever, and it'd loop around the drag race course. And what was crazy is like, it was like you could see in the evening times as these drag cars would take off, like the fireball coming out of the back of these cars. You could see the glow of it just on the highway. I mean, like, you could see when stuff was going down on this drag race course. Anyways, really cool. So let me ask you a question real quick, right? Let's say that I've got this sweet drag racing car, and I can't draw a car, so I'm just going to say drag race car. Drag race car. That's the perfect drag race car right there. Okay. Let's say I have a drag race car, and it's going to, we're going to have it versus a Prius. There we go. So we have a drag race car versus a Prius. Nice. And it's sad because it's not a happy car. And, okay, so that's the drawing of a Prius. Now, we have a, right, let me come back to your comments here in just a moment here, okay? Who's going to win? Right now, it's not like, it's actually a matter of time, isn't it? To answer this question, technically, they're both going to hit the finish line, aren't they? We have the finish line right back here. Right, we got the checkerboard finish line. Woo!
Now, who's going to finish? They're both going to finish. But like, who's going to win is a matter of time. And so we have to, the drag car, right? The drag car. The Prius could be like almost at the end, and that drag car's still going to take off and win at the end. What I'm trying to tell you guys here is like, there's nothing wrong with selling the way that MLM traditionally teaches you to sell product. The issue comes in with time, right? There's three kinds of time, or there's three kinds of cost, right? First, there's an actual money cost. There's time cost, and then there's repeatable time, right? And that's why I only focus on repeatable time activities. I only want to spend that kind of cost. And so what I go do is I build a funnel. And now I don't have to do all the ways that you guys are mentioning right now, right? That we all know are the traditional ways that MLM teaches you to sell product, right? So if I'm going to go in, so I got friends, right? You're going to talk to friends, family. There's I'm going to do like parties and stuff like that. And again, can you sell product like that? Yeah. And huge multi-million-dollar people have gone in and they've made a lot of money that way. How many though? Okay, this is the other thing that I want to share with you guys on this. Okay, so there's their speed. How fast does it take me to go and do it, right? Will I actually get to the finish line? Yes, in a Prius, totally. I'm going to get to it, but I'm going to get dominated by the drag car, right? The other thing we need to look at is this. Okay, check this out. And this is one of the things I want you to know, like, and that's why I'm going to share with you guys what I am today. There's one other, like, major aspect to this, right? If I have time as one of the aspects I need to start looking at, but the other one I need to look at is like, okay, think about this. Let's say that I have let's take artists, for example. Just follow me on this. Just keep with me here in just a moment while I do this. Glitchy signal on my end, on the airplane. Oh, you're on the airplane. Well, we've got really fast internet on this side, so it's probably that you're on an airplane. What's up, Mark? Okay, check this out though. Think about this. Let's say that I take an artist. It's one of my favorite examples ever on why I do it the way I do. Because I have never gotten on the phone to sell somebody. I have never, right? I did 2 MLMs back in my old life before I ever really got good at the internet part of it. And I did a few of these strategies, but I haven't done these strategies or what traditional MLM teaches in like 5 years, okay? So I don't do home meetings. I don't do hotel meetings. I don't do phone meetings. I don't do any of that stuff, okay? And again, I'm not throwing rocks at it if you choose to do it. I'm just saying, like, weigh the cost on this. I only want the highest leverage activities. Those will be the things that I get good at. High leverage activities. Okay, stuff that is low on my time, right? Stuff that's high on duplicatable time. And stuff that I can at least break even on my ad cost. That's what I want. That equals the very scenario that I'm going for, right? Low time on my side to create duplicatable time, so it's really high leverage, but then I can at least recoup on ad costs so that I can spend more money than most MLMs do on their ads. Okay? But anyway, so let's take this for just a moment, okay? So I'm just setting this up here real quick, and I'm going to teach you guys 3 very simple product funnels. I use this same thing in several other industries as well. This is a super easy way to create funnels, okay? Product funnels specifically. Okay, and it might shock you. Like the Secret MLM Hacks course goes in and teaches a lot about recruiting, and it talks about products as well, but I want you to see like a lot of things we talk about for recruiting actually apply to product funnels and product sales, which is why I focus so heavily on recruiting first. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later maybe, but like anyway, so follow me with this for a second. So let's say we have an artist. We got an artist. Now, how talented do you have to be to get paid really any kind of money as an artist? What skill level do you have? What skill level do you have to have in order to get paid as an artist? A lot, right? I mean, you got to be high, right? Let's say 1 out of 5. Let's say you got to be like a 4 or a 5 in order to really start making money. And even then, it may not be that much money. We're talking like the last like 10% of like the good 4s and 5s really make a lot of cash. But for everybody else, super stereotypical, how much cash does an artist actually make? Right? Let's say it's a 1 or a 2. Right? Super. It's the opposite. Right? Now let's do Nothing else but change the vehicle. Okay, watch this. This is why this is such a big deal. Okay, let's change the vehicle. I'm not going to add really any more skill levels. Right? Like a lot of this stuff, I know a lot of you guys like, man, it seems like a lot. It's not that hard. It's just new. So just keep sticking with it. Okay, so check this out. So let's say I'm going to go and I'm going to learn how to teach people about how to be an artist on the internet. So I'm going to sell some information about how online. All right. What skill level do I need to have at this vehicle in order to make a good amount of money? It's the exact opposite. Okay. It's a 1 or a 2. That's why it's such a big deal. Right? What skill level do I have to have in order to start making money teaching people how to be an artist? Not that high. But what kind of revenue do I have the potential to earn? It's through the freaking roof. Okay? It's huge. Right? It's a 4 or 5. It's the exact opposite. Without adding really, right? It's gonna take like half a lifetime for me to get good at the artist thing, and then get paid hardly anything, or at least on the journey, I'm not gonna get paid much. Or what I could do is just change my vehicle and learn how to sell and talk about scale. So let's walk through this for just a moment here. So if I have, let's take the traditional methods that MLM teaches about how to sell product. Okay. Now we have the family and friends thing. We have the family and friends thing. Right. We got parties. We have, I don't know, a whole bunch of anyway. There's a lot of methods, right? A lot of methods. It's dumb because I can only see you guys' 4 most recent comments, which is so dumb, right? So anyways, yeah, Holly, right? Yeah, high revenue, definitely, Mark, tons, right? Okay, so check this out. How much skill level do I have to have as a new MLMer, right? Or let's say you're duplicating. Let's say you're actually building and you got new people coming on in. So let's say I'm a new MLMer. What skill level do I have to start making a little bit of cash in this game? I got to overcome a ton of mental barriers, right? I got to learn the script. I got to learn about the product. I got to learn about how they can buy. Here's what the form looks like. Hey, if they do smart ship or like a monthly auto ship program versus a one-off, here's, right? By the way, let's go learn about the promotions going on. Let's go learn about, right? Let's learn about some of the events that my MLM has going on, right? That's a lot. Let's say I'm just conservatively, I'm going to put a 3, right? A 3 to 4. You got to have a pretty good amount of skill level. And how much money do you honestly make for a while? Let's just be completely honest about this. How much money do you actually make for a while? You like the shirt? It's not much. What's up, Josh? Okay. How much money do you actually, right? So if I'm doing family and friends and I'm doing parties, I have to have a 3-4 skill level in MLM in order to make even just like a 1 or a 2, right? Just being totally honest about this, right? There was a lady who reached out to us. She was so excited. My wife and I were in college and she's like, Steven, my gosh, guys, you have to come to, right? She was excited. She was on social media and she goes, hey, so imagining she's typing with the thumbs. Guys, I'm so blessed to be in my MLM. We've been in it for 3 years now, and now we're making $50 a month. We paid for diapers through our opportunity. I was like, $50 after 3 freaking years? That is a sucky vehicle. But if I change the vehicle, right, suddenly I flip the whole model. You guys get this? This is why this is such a big deal, right? Yeah, Mark said nothing. Some of them don't even make anything, but they spend all this time, they learn how to sell, but they're in a sucky vehicle. So what I'm trying to share with you guys here is like, there are way better ways. I want to teach you guys specifically 3 ways. Oops, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 ways to build very, very simple product sales funnels for your MLM, right? And I want to teach you guys this because it's a model that I've used in lots of other industries as well, and it works actually the exact same in MLM, right? So that's what this is about, is that if this first one here, I can go and I can execute it and not be amazing at it, and I can make, right, seriously, let's say I'm a 2, but I can have like a level 3 level of cash, right? And then this one I can do again, and it's even a 1 or a 2, and I can have a level 4 because the amount of leverage between these 2 strategies is ridiculous. All right, and then really, this one focuses a lot on what Secret MLM Hacks is, right? And I'm going to teach that. I want to expose that to you guys as we move forward here for just a moment, okay? So that's what we're doing here, and I want to teach you guys that. Remember, the drag car versus the Prius, right? We're talking about speed.
$1 million is $1 million, but $1 million you gather in a day is very different than $1 million you gather over 50 years, right? Time is what measures wealth. And what I don't want to go in and have this thing. I don't want to be hooked into this vehicle, this thing that everyone teaches in MLM. It's network marketing, so therefore I have to network face to face. No, you don't. There's 3 different kinds of costs. And I'm not going to spend my personal one-off time to go sell somebody. I just refuse to do it. And while I don't know how to code, and I still don't, when I'm teaching it here, anyone can pull it off. These are just it's very different way to think about MLM overall though, okay? You guys with me though? All right, let me reload these comments here because I'm watching your comments on this side while I got the screen over on this side over here, right? Okay, so hopefully that's making sense to you so far right now about why what we're doing here is so different. Not just from a recruiting standpoint, but from a product sales standpoint, an MLM product sales standpoint. Okay, so what I'm teaching here, there's 3 different methods. And I could even execute this last one as like, again, a 1 or a 2, but the leverage is massive. Leverage, the magic word, leverage, okay? I can go in and do that, and I will do a 5 on the amount of cash. I personally have done that, okay? And this is the reason why. I'm going to be very, very vulnerable, and vulnerable is maybe not the right word. Let me just be totally doors open, okay? Gates wide open with you guys for just a moment here. I don't know that much about the MLM product that I sell. I don't know that much. What I know is that it's awesome and it helps a lot of people and I get paid every time I sell it. I have not focused on the skill of understanding the science behind the product. Okay? What I'm obsessed about is I don't care about what it is. As long as it's ethical, as long as it's moral, as long as it truly helps people, as long as the company's awesome, I don't really care. I don't. Okay? What I care about and what my focus and my obsessive focus is on is this piece. How does it sell? As long as the company that you choose to hook up to has an awesome what, meaning the product that they sell, what they sell is amazing, your job is not to become a mad scientist genius over the product. That is not what sells stuff. Your job is to obsess over the how it sells. And you don't sell things by barfing technobabble about your product over people. You don't, right? That's not how this game works. That's not how sales in general works, not just MLM. I had a very stark slap in the face realization with this. Okay, first-hand experience with it. I was doing door-to-door sales, and it was my second summer, and I was selling pest control, and I loved it, and it was awesome. I was having a ton of fun doing it. Okay? And about halfway through the summer, I was the number 2 salesman who was a first year. I was doing really well. I was doing 2 to 3 sales a day. We were making more money I've ever seen in my entire life, and it was super cool. About halfway through the summer, I started going and knocking in these neighborhoods. And I started getting questions I had never had. It was pest control, right? And so they would ask questions like, what's the chemical compound behind this? I don't know if I knocked a neighborhood that was like just a group of mad scientists or whatever, but they wanted to know those kinds of things, and none of them bought, or very few of them. And what happened was I got distracted. And instead of studying my craft as a salesman, you are in sales in MLM. You don't own the product. You don't own your position even. You own nothing. You have no say, no rights, nothing legally at all in your MLM. In one snap, they can take you out of it. I'm not saying that to freak you out. It's just a stark reality of network marketing, of MLM, of direct sales, whatever you call it, right? It's the reality. So what I shouldn't do is try to do things or understand the product so deeply that I'm trying to affect it. What I'm really trying to do is study the how on how it sells. That's what Secret MLM Hacks is about. Why do people buy from you? Meaning the opportunity and the product. That's what Secret MLM Hacks is about. It's not about like, let's go be a genius. It's about what makes things sell. How do they sell? How does the sale actually happen? And then how can you automate that with that third type of time? Okay, that's really what this is about and why I wanted to do this stuff with you, okay? So I'm going to keep moving here. I'm ready to join your MLM right now, Steve, but I have a couple questions. How can I get in touch with you? That is not the scope of this, and I don't want anyone to get uncomfortable, so I'm not going to tell you the name of my MLM still, but you can reach out to me personally. Okay, so what happened, though, is in pest control, I went and I started learning about the pest control. and I started learning the chemical compounds that killed ants, right? And I started learning the most random stats ever, thinking all along, I can't wait. Oh man, I can't wait for the next person on the door to tell me, but does it do this? Because now I know enough to barf all over them all these cool science facts. And they'll buy from me. And you know what's funny? My sales, we almost went bankrupt. Okay? My sales went from 2 to 3 sales a day to 2 to 3 sales a week. Okay? I started selling almost nothing. And I started getting the lucky laydown sales that I wasn't selling anymore. I was just capturing the easy laydown sales. You see what I'm saying? And we almost lost everything. And what happened was I started going around and knocking these poorer neighborhoods, right? Just being honest. I hope no one gets offended by when I say that, but right, they were poorer neighborhoods and kind of lower income housing neighborhoods, and they would pay for the first or second service, and then after that, just cancel the contract on us, and you couldn't collect on them. And so I lost like over half my accounts before 4 months had even gone by, and it was one of the most powerful but painful lessons I'd ever had about sales in my life. What I want to do is I want to clearly understand the who, a dream who. I want to understand the dream customer, right? I don't want somebody who's, I have to hold their hand 24/7 inside my downline. You shouldn't either. That's why I tell you guys in the program, like, look, I'm not trying to sell somebody who needs the opportunity. Oh, Mr. Jones across the street, he's having a rough time right now. He needs this opportunity. No! All right? I'm building a business, not a life coaching business, right? You understand? And so the who that I'm trying to recruit, the who that I'm trying to sell my product to matters a ton. Like crazy. And so my funnels, both for the product and recruiting, don't just sell, they also filter. They are there to keep the wrong person out. So once I know the who, and then I start studying how to sell them, my whole role is the how. Okay? Once I know the who, okay, this is the kind of person I want my downline. This is the kind of person that I want buying my product. Cool. Once I know that, check. It's kind of like done, got it. But then my role, since the MLM is going to be the one delivering the what, the product, my whole role, my entire focus is the how. How do I sell them now? Okay? So that's the purpose of it. So that you guys don't, we have a bunch of boxes back there and they all crashed. So that you guys don't sit back and start saying things like, hey, I'm going to go and go get as many cheap sales as possible, right? I don't sell my stuff cheap. And I do that on purpose because it is, if somebody can't handle even $100 product in their life, can I be real with you guys for a moment here? Is that all right? I have your permission to be forward. All right. Have your permission to be forward? Is that all right? We got quite a few of you guys on now, which is great. If someone can't even afford a $100 product in their life, it is a signal of the problems they have not solved in their life. Okay. So that's a little spiciness there. Okay, this will matter a lot as I go through these 3 right here. So I'm gonna keep going here for a little bit, but I want to go and go through these 3 things now. Okay, these 3 ways where I would start at number 1 and I would end at number 3. These 3 ways are the easiest ways to sell product and also recruit people. But we're going to talk about it from a product recruiting standpoint, okay?
Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Hey, I know it's tough to find people to pitch after your warm market dries up, right? That moment when you finally run out of family and friends to pitch. I don't see many uplines teaching legitimate lead strategies today, though. You see, after years of being a lead funnel builder online, I got sick of the garbage strategies most MLMs have been teaching their recruits for decades. So whether you simply want more leads to pitch or an automated MLM funnel, head over to secretmlmhacks.com to join the next free training. There you're going to learn the hidden revenue model that only the top MLMers have been using to get paid regardless if you join them. You're also going to learn the 3-step system I use to auto-recruit my downline of big producers without friends or family even knowing that I'm in MLM. If you want to do the same for yourself, head over to secretmlmhacks.com now. Again, that's secretmlmhacks.com.